Hey, it's Joy. Wanna hear something suspenseful?
Sorry, wrong number.
This is a story that comes from a 1948 radio drama written by Lucille Fletcher. Mr. and Mrs. Stevenson fell madly in love with each other during their first few years of marriage. Although simple, their life was perfect. However, an unfortunate event happened. Mrs. Leona Stevenson fell sick due to an unknown illness which caused her to be permanently bedridden. As Mrs. Leona Stevenson's ability to walk slowly faded away, so did Mr. Stevenson's love for her. One day, as Mr. Stevenson left for work, he told his wife that he will be working overtime. Later that night, all alone, at home and vulnerable to any danger, Leona gets paranoid. With the telephone as her only access to the outside world, she tried to dial her husband's office but got no response as the line was busy. She calls the telephone operator to connect her to her husband's office. To her surprise, she overhears a conversation on the other end of the line of two men planning to murder a woman later on the same night at 11:15 p.m. by the bridge when the train passes by after the patrolman is out of sight. She tries to warn the telephone operator and the chief, but gets frustrated as the call could not be traced. She decides to report what she overheard to the police department, although Leona was not convinced that the police would do anything since the evidence of the planned murder was not enough. She starts to put together the information that she had gathered from the conversation of the planned murder. A woman who lives in a house near a bridge at 53 North Southern Place, with a private patrolman that wanders the streets every night. All of these fit her description a little too well. Is this all just a coincidence or not? The time is now close to 11 p.m. and Mrs. Leona Stevenson's paranoia just keeps getting worse. She keeps receiving calls, but no one would speak on the other line until finally someone answered. It was a telegram from her husband, Mr. Stevenson, saying that he'll be leaving for Boston at 11 p.m. that night due to an urgent business and would return by afternoon on the next day. With only little sanity left, Leona tries to dial her husband once more, but still no answer. She tries to contact Hensley Hospital to hire a nurse to keep her company for the night. Unfortunately, the only available nurse had just left for supper. The time is now 11:15. Mrs. Leona Stevenson suddenly hears a click on the telephone. Someone is listening from the telephone downstairs. Someone had broken in. Talking as quietly as possible, she dials the telephone operator to contact the police. Leona hears footsteps coming up to her room. While the police department is being dialed, Leona fights the man in black with all of her remaining strength. Unfortunately, she has lost.
Yes, Mr. Stevenson, I did what you told me to do. The deed is done. Police Department, Precinct 63, Sergeant Martin speaking. Hello? Police Department? Oh, sorry, I must have gotten the wrong number. Don't worry, everything is just fine.